Hello, everybody. It's midnight again, and welcome to Rotting Flesh Movie Reviews. This month, we're doing Slashing Through the Snow. Well, this month. We've already did a couple Halloween movies this month, but this month, we're meant to do Christmas movies, aren't we? So, I'm your host, Billy Pop, and today we're taking a look at one of my favorite Christmas horror films, 1984's Silent Night, Deadly Night, directed by Charles E. Celio Jr. I'm sure I mispronounced that shit. Jonathan Best as Billy, the main character. I do want to mention Black Christmas. I was going to review Black Christmas, but then I realized I already reviewed it once, and I did a really good job. I edited it, and it was a well done review, and I probably can't do any better. So, especially with what I have right now, what I'm working with. So, I'm skipping Black Christmas, but I do want to mention the killer's name in that movie is Billy too. At least we're supposed to assume it is. So that's me, and I feel pretty good about that. Lillian Chauvin plays Mother Superior, the wicked nun, and Linnea Quigley plays Denise. I only mention her because Linnea Quigley, she's nude again. Yay! Anyway, I just want to mention the controversy with this film. A long time ago, it was kind of... And I'm just going to up my mic a little bit here. Anyways, a long time ago, it was... When it came out in 1984, it got the shit kicked out of it by a bunch of basically angry moms who were pissed off that this movie was... The ads were playing during daytime television when their kids were at home, and their kids were being scared of Santa Claus as a result. And Roger and Siskel and Ebert also gave it a scathing review. They're like, "Shame on you, you assholes! Like we fucking, we could make a movie better, or whatever." Those guys. But anyways, I'm just gonna get into it. We open with young Billy going to see his grandfather on Christmas Eve. His grandpa is supposed to be totally like comatose and like deaf, at least, and mute, I would assume. But as soon as Billy's parents leave the room, he says, "Christmas Eve is the scariest damn night of the year, and if you see Santa boy, you better run." And he kind of does this crazy shit and scares the fuck out of Billy, and basically, as soon as everyone comes back into the room, he goes quiet again. And so yeah, Grandpa doesn't seem like he's comatose at all. I think he's just fucking with everybody. On the way home, they see a man in a Santa suit having car trouble. He just robbed a store, by the way, and shot a guy. So Santa ends up being a serial murderer / rapist and kills Billy's parents right in front of him, leaving him and his baby brother orphans. I think Grandpa, I don't think he's crazy at all. I think he seems more like a psychic at this point. It's an intense scene, and honestly, yes, a little bit exploitive. As I get older, I realize I still love these sleazy older movies, but I think I finally grew out of the unpleasant scenes with, like, the rape and stuff. I mean, not that I ever really enjoyed it before, I guess, but, I mean, this does drive the story forward, but it really didn't have to be as graphic as shown. I don't really understand the appeal of that anymore. I used to be like, yeah, it's like real and shit, but that kind of ruins the whole whatever that it's supposed to be a movie. I don't know. I'm not saying it ruins it. It's a great scene, as unpleasant as it is, but it is just that unpleasant. We cut to an orphanage where Billy grows up hating Santa. He gets abused by the nun Mother Superior, who forces him into like Christmassy situations, knowing his past. She's kind of a huge bitch. I really hate the method to this lady's behavior control experiments, essentially is what I'm going to call them, because she's like, watch all the mean things I do to him, and then he'll end up like changing or something. I don't know, it's pretty sick. I don't think it's like back then I could see people literally thinking that would work, but anyway, she pisses me off. Billy ends up growing up, getting abused and having like flashbacks of his parents getting murdered every Christmas, and he ends up working at a store. And anyway, they have a Christmas kind of party thing, and Billy has to dress up as Santa Claus. They throw a party. Like, what a bad idea. I don't think any of the store people knew that happened to him, but still, like, you think the nuns would have maybe said something. Anyway, they throw a Christmas party, and the girl that he has a crush on, I guess, ends up getting attacked by a coworker, and he's trying to rape her. So it's like, holy shit, so now it's Christmas and there's rape going on. I'm definitely getting flagged for all the R words. So, anyways, Billy has flashbacks again and begins a murderous rampage. He runs around town killing anyone he deems naughty, and he like yells "naughty." It's heavy on the gore and boobies, which is great. First, he kills everyone at the store. Then he goes down to Linnea Quigley's house, and she's obviously being naughty. So um, yeah, that was a good death scene. When we get this like unnerving, amazing scene where it seems like he's about to kill a child, but instead he gives her a razor blade for a Christmas present, and the whole time he's like, "Have you been naughty?" And she's like, "No, man, I've been cool all year." And he's just like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, I guess. And then he hands her a razor blade, and yeah, it's the scariest part of the movie, and oh so genius. The police find out there's a killer Santa on the loose, and they are after him. The one younger nun that was actually nice to Billy as he grew up tells the police there is a method to the behavior control experiments that Billy is doling out like so many lumps of coal. I'm blaming the nun. Back at the orphanage, the cops see a Santa walking up to the children and open up fire. Turns out it's not Billy, but he does show up to take his revenge on Mother Superior eventually, which is what we've all been waiting for, and she is now in a wheelchair. He almost gets her, but a cop shoots him, and the audience cries because we all want her to die so bad. I mean, she doesn't seem like she's worthy of death, but I don't like people like her, and we kind of grow to like Billy, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, this was directed like softcore porn with a dash of sleaze and gore. It looked sleazy, it smelled icky, and it felt like Christmas. The orphanage seemed like a shitty place and that rapist Santa at the beginning seemed like he was really just everything a child would be afraid of. I was a sensitive kid, and that guy, if I would have just seen him, would have freaked me right the fuck out. He just seemed so, just in general, like a bad guy. The acting was actually really good. Both the young and the teenage incarnations of Billy really played tragic characters. I felt bad for him, and as silly as it sounds, at the end when he dies, I felt even worse for him. Like, even though he was killing innocent people, there was a method to his madness. It just wasn't very cool. The Mother Superior character is the other standout. The lady plays her really perfectly cold, and it almost at times tricks you into thinking she might be a good person in a weird way, but she just loves punishment too much. Like, I'm sure my mom spanked me as a child, but she didn't enjoy it, and you're not supposed to. So, by that logic, this character is unlikable, but she's played really well. I like the music in this movie, other than the montage store scene music. Otherwise, it was effectively creepy and Christmassy enough. The effects were decent. I wouldn't say anything amazing, but the kills are mostly memorable, and they definitely tried. A guy gets shot in the head in one scene at the beginning, and I always thought that looked kind of, if not real, it looked pretty cool, and it did kind of feel real, to be honest. The writing is pretty straightforward here, though. The only thing that really has it going for it is basically the build up to Billy attacking everyone and his character development, kind of. And the ending, although good, kind of didn't really give me what I wanted. I wanted a little more from this ending. I will say that it was sad. It's kind of a bummer. This is one of my favorite Christmas horror movies. It doesn't exactly make a guy feel Christmas spirit, but it's a classic slasher sleazed fest, and one I usually watch this time of year. It really doesn't give you Christmas spirit, though. You don't get any of those warm moments that Christmas movies are supposed to have, and I think that it kind of needs something like that to be a full-fledged, like, perfect Christmas movie. So I think the rated R Christmas films have a harder time getting the Christmas moments in, which is too bad, because if somebody really tried, they could make a masterpiece, I think. I don't think there's been one made yet, in my opinion, other than maybe Black Christmas, but that even suffers from not having a genuine, heartwarming Christmas moment. Anyways, I give this movie 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely a strong 7.5, and I watch it pretty much every year with my dad. So, thank you for listening, guys. Hope you enjoy slashing through the snow this month, and happy holidays, and a merry hello to you. Good night.
That Midget production.